for anyone that isn't familiar with, my progression, my very first deal was not a house hack. I had no idea what house hacking was. But I bought a property. I lost every penny, which honestly, I don't know what that dollar amount is. But it's definitely north of like 10 grand. And I was 21 years old. And so 10 grand for a 21-year-old is like $1 million, and 10, I got murdered. We had a national kind of crisis in my area. And long story short, I lost every penny. And a lot of people ask me now in retrospect, like, how were you able to overcome that? Honestly, I never thought about it. I just sort of moved on with the thought process that like I wasn't good enough and that I had to get around better people and figure out a better system. And so that was going to be a long-term buy and hold. I just bought it, did major rehab, and then put a tenant in there. And then so from there, I just kind of progressed. I went into flipping houses, and then I still to this day have a W-2 job. And so I was at my W-2 day job. I started this like book club. We just would read real estate books and business books and things of that nature. And I read a Brandon Turner book, and I was in the middle of a flip. And these flips, the margins were getting a little tougher, and I was doing all the work and things of that nature. And he had mentioned house hacking, and in specific, he mentioned the 203K loan. And I mean, I had no idea that either were out there. I had no idea people could get 3.5% down to live in a property, much less get a 3.5% down loan where they lent you, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 on a property to do the rehab, and they would pay for that. And that was like mind blowing for me. And I'm like, man, like this is legit. And it was like the coolest thing I'd ever heard. So, got into that, and, it just kind of spiraled from there. But that first deal was definitely challenging, man. And, that's something that I like to reiterate to people, that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of difficulty. And I think the thing that I have also that I didn't say in that last response to your question was that part of a community, and a part of the reason that I bring just my personality, I love bringing people around myself that are like-minded. I'm a collector of friends that are unique and maybe in real estate or maybe not in real estate, but they're uniquely into things. The reason that Drew was working for me, by the way, at one of my properties, and that's how we met. And the thing that drew me to Drew, and I think asked him to, I don't know, do something, just hang out or give me his number just to hang out and stuff. And he ended up started working for me, was that he was a professional bowler, and he had quit his day job in the IT industry to go become a professional bowler. And I'm like, that is crazy. Like who does that? That's whack. Like he's got to be my friend. And that's just how I think. And so, but the thing of that is, and the reason why I do that is that life is tough, man. Real estate is tough. And you're not gonna withstand the ups and downs in this industry or in life unless you cultivate relationships with people around you to help you get through the tough times. And so part of this community is like, hey man, let me be your friend. And when it becomes challenging, when it looks like things aren't going your way, like I'll be there. I'll tell you my bad story. I'll tell you why it's worth persevering. I'll tell you, why it's worth seeing, the rainbow after the storm, instead of seeing how much bad things are going on through the storm. So that's another part and aspect to it, is just that, yeah, you might lose 10 grand, but hopefully I can tell you why you shouldn't go down that route and why there's a better route. Or maybe not even me, maybe, if you're in Austin, Texas, or if you're in Gary, Indiana, or if you're in California, or if you're in, most states, I can connect you with somebody that might be able to help you, get through a storm because they've been through storms, and they'll tell you why it's worth it in real estate.